Hey guys, welcome to my program Mikaili Sol, where I'll be connecting you weekly to the Global Kitesurfing Community. Today I'm coming at you live from the Three Corners Rhiana Resort here in Gouna, Egypt. For those of you who don't know me, I am 16 years old from Brazil and 3 times kitesurfing world champion. Don't forget to comment and ask questions throughout my program. But now let me introduce you to my 2 very special guests. One is Nicolas Delmas from France, who I met when I was 9 years old in Fuerte Ventura, where we were participating in a training camp and photo shoot. My other guest is Fabio Ingrosso from Switzerland, who has been my freestyle coach since I was 12 years old. All right, Fabio Huda, let's play the video of Fabio and Nico. Hey Fabio, hey Nico, how are you guys doing?
Hey Mika, how are you? Good.
Good.
All good, Mika.
Hey.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey Nico, how is France at the moment? When I heard Paris is closing down due to COVID, give us a little insight on that.
Well, like the situation in France, I think is the same for like every country. We are like trying to do our best, and we just had a call of the president yesterday, and we are back into lockdown. So yeah, we try to make the most of it, and you really try to discover a bit more your country, and you try to really manage to go to the other sport around, and you really find that you don't have to go that far to find and you realize that you have good condition at home. And yeah, we change a bit our lifestyles.
No, yeah, for sure. I know everything's really tough at the moment. Fabio, I know how you're doing because you're here in Egypt relationships with me. But anyways, guys, it has been over a year since I've been able to train with Fabio, and I'm super happy to be here in Gouna and super excited to have him join me on my program. Fabio and I met when I was 12 years old in Balena Alegre in Spain when I was competing when I was 10 years old. Fabio, tell us a little bit about your kitesurfing days and your titles.
So, welcome everyone. So yeah, basically my kitesurfing days is like usual years now, more than 20 years. My basics rules, like wake up and try to get the wind, maximum windy days everywhere in the world. So I'm very passionate about the kitesurfing and I really love what I'm doing. And yeah, all this time during my life, I'm mute during all this time from the participant of kiteboarding, doing competition. I'm now coaching, and is always very passionate for everything I'm doing. So yeah, basically.
How many titles do you have in? You did snow kiting, right? You competed in snow kiting. How many titles do you have?
You're right. So I've been competing in snowkite for like more than 12 years, and I did a 6-time world champion during this time. It was really on the beginning, so it was everything we knew, and we make the sport happen at this time. And I've been traveling like all around the world by snow kiting, and it was really super exciting to meet people and crossing the world like you do now on kite surfing.
No, yeah, for sure. Super cool. You have more titles than me already, still.
Yeah,
Anyways,
it's not
Nico, tell us a little bit about your kite surfing career.
Well, me, I started kitesurfing when I was 12. And yeah, started was my dad, like he teach me almost all the bass. And I remember it was like picking me after school. I was like going straight to the spot, riding until dark. And then I managed to get my sponsor, F1 sponsor, like around like 14 years old. And I joined the F1 next generation, like that where I met you, Nika, like you told, like in Fuerte Ventura, I remember. And you were like 9 years old, killing it already. And yeah, after like I joined the freestyle tour. Like in my first event was in like 2016, like it was like in Gouna, I remember. And yeah, I ended 5, and that's a bit of the start of my career. And I continue.
Sorry, guys. I think my Wi-Fi kind of out for a little bit.
Yeah. You hear me? Yeah.
No, yeah. Sorry, Nico. I don't know if you kept talking while my Wi-Fi was down, but super cool.
Yeah.
You mind repeating that a little bit because I kind of missed it.
Okay, yeah. I thought like I got my sponsor by F1 like around like 14 years old, and I joined the F1 next generation. That's where I met you, Nika, like you told before, like in Fuerte Ventura when you were like 9 years old and you were already killing it. And yeah, after that I start to compete like on the world tour in 2016. Like the first event was in Gouna, I remember. And like I ended 5 on this one, and I really start to be into the tour from this year. I've been riding on the tour like for 3 years until like 2019, where it was my best year. I mean, I was like riding at my best, and I did like 2 final in a row. And on the last event in Morocco, I just enjoyed myself a bit badly. And yeah, that's a bit the turnover of my career.
No, yeah, injuries are always a big thing that you have to overcome. But right now you're coaching with Fabio. And on the note of coaching, Fabio, how did you get into coaching? Like, how did you have the idea of wanting to teach people and help people advance in the sport?
So yeah, it's long story for me because from the beginning I made kitesurfing. We was a bunch of friends. We always give tips each other and try to improve ourselves, giving back tips, and that's the way we learn about coaching in this way. And then I start to be traveling and meet more people, and really start to have like going into the detail with few friends. And I discovered myself like, okay, this is pretty cool to do it. And year by year, say, okay, maybe I can do this as a job. And finally, I dedicate myself like 5 years ago to do only this, to take this direction to these coachings, and build this now with this new brand like Above the Water with Nico, and growing this as a pro coach.
Super, super cool. I mean, Fabio and I have been training together since I was 12. Fabio, share with us what it was like training me, because I know I wasn't the easiest person to train when I was that young.
Yeah, I remember this day in Taiba, the first time ever we met for coaching, because we met before in Bayana Alegre. But the first day we tried to start, it was like pretty messy. I remember this little girl with this helmet, 12 years old, with this kite, just get on boots, and the parents was there next to me, and always conflict with me every time I try to say something like, no, 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 it's not this, I don't like it, I cannot. And yeah, it's like forced me also to like, okay, everyone is different, and push you, and I was sure about what I'm saying, and finally we get this work together step by step to going into the confidence. I remember one day in Tarifa with Cohen. I don't know if you remember that.
I
And
think I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, yeah, and it was like it was this small group. I just explained to people. It was a few riders with me, and this Cohen was with me, learning also doing freestyle basically, and I trained him in the same time with you, Mika, and he was really listening every detail I say, and he was like, okay, maybe, 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 and then you see him landing a back mob, and then you turn straight to me and say, okay, what next? What should I do now, Fabio? Tell me.
Yeah, I remember that. Like he made the back move, and I was like, okay, maybe I should listen to him more. I don't know. I wasn't. I was a very hard kid to teach. I remember that. I don't think I would have been able to coach myself. I would have been like, nah, too stubborn, not gonna work. But Fabio and I have been around the world together. Actually, Fabio Arruda, pode mostrar pra gente o mapa dos lugares que a gente vai falar. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about Tarifa. Tarifa is located in Spain on the Costa del Sol. Tarifa is considered one of the best places in Europe for kitesurfing and one of the best places in the world. It is a very international town with great restaurants and lots to do. Nico, what do you think about training in Tarifa and how are the conditions there? Fabio, what do you think about it as well?
Yeah, Nico, start.
I've been to Tarifa just a few times, but every time was like perfect condition. You know, like almost all the providers are living in Tarifa. You know, like and yeah, like the poignant is like the wind come from the south, if I remember, and there's like a small lagoon, so it's like super flat. The wind is super steady, and it's really a good place. And yeah, really love this place.
No, yeah, there's so many riders that live in Tarifa. It's kind of crazy. I feel like everybody's just moving there over the years. Fabio, what do you think about it? Because I know you have a few camps in Tarifa too.
Yeah, I've been like several times in Tarifa, honestly, and I always have a really good time there, basically because the package, as you say, is like a restaurant and nightlife, not only, but mainly the kiting. Kiting means like it's two wind directions, poniente and levante, and when you get the poniente, you have like a smooth wind, very steady wind to train, and you can go on the sea, it's pretty rough sea, and you have like a small river, like a Sharkla, and when it's like not too crowded or not summertime, you can train. Then Poniente, you have like really strong wind, so better for bigger and like ascended, probably huge, and a bit hardcore for freestyle. But the overall package, I really love Tarifa, and I think it's a very good place. Yes.
No, yeah, for sure. I think Tarifa is one of my favorite places to go to. Like just the vibe that you get there is just something that you can't get in many places with all the people. And also the kiting is amazing. You have strong wind, light wind, you have the lagoons, you have the side along the bridge, and you can just do so many things. I really like it there. Another place we trained in is Sicily, Italy. Fabio, talk about Sicily a little bit. What makes it so special? I know you're having a lot of camps in Sicily as well, and I've been there a few times as well.
So for my side, Sicily, start Sicily 2 years ago. I've been in holidays there, and I've been kiting with the family there, and I'm enjoying really the lagoon at Stagnone because it's like a huge lagoon, very flat. You have a lot of flat in there. It's crazy flat, and the wind blow like pretty steady. Not every day is the same wind because you have many spots around. So sometimes in south wind you have the name spot is Tahiti, is like a crystal blue water, and this north wind you have Los Tañones, this lagoon, and if it's like a different wind condition, you can drive 1 hour and you always get some wind around. So basically, it's super nice spot, and the people there and a super wide place, so it's like it's no many tourists, only kite surfer are there. So basically, I really love it, and we have like our friends, Cocoluto is there, and it's super nice to ride with him and to work with him there.
Nico, have you been to Sicily for training?
No, never been to Sicily, but the only thing that I know to Sicily just looks like an amazing place. And when you see like the videos of Gian Maria, the photos and everything, it looks like wow, paradise for kitesurfing.
No, yeah, it's super. What's cool about Sicily is that where we train, at least, it is super flat and kind of shallow, but there's like a meter of just mud. Like you can stick your hand in and it'll just like sink in. But also we're in Italy where the food is amazing. You get that really nice pizza as well, you know, Fabio.
Yeah,
But
pizza is
yeah,
good.
I think Sicily is for sure one of my top like 4 locations that I really like kiting in. But yeah, it's super cool there as well. And then we have my home spot in Cumbuco and in Taiba, Brazil. Cumbuco is super close to my hometown. Here we have 2 freshwater lakes with amazing flat conditions. Many pro riders come to this part of Brazil for training because there's always wind and no wetsuits are needed, which people who know that have to get into wetsuits know how hard it is and how not so comfortable as well. Tell us a little bit about Brazil and why it is one of your training destinations.
Yeah, like for me, Brazil is for sure the best spot. Cumbuco is for sure the best spot on the world. Like it's the wind is like blowing every single day, like during the season, and the spot is like super flat, and like all the providers are joining at the same time that we are all riding together. So like you can push yourself to really to the limit on this spot, and like that's what I love to go to Brazil. Also for the acais, for the food.
Açaí.
But yeah, for sure, it's like for me, it's the best place to be for kitesurfing.
Fabio, you have a lot of camps there as well. Do you think? I personally think when we go training in Brazil, we improve a lot faster because of the wind conditions, the warm water, no need for wetsuits. You can push yourself more. You have really flat conditions, and the wind is just really steady. But what is your point of view on the location?
So for me, Brazil, it's like I've been there like for like maybe 20, no, not 20 years, like 12 years, 13 years already. Every year I've been there training, pushing myself first because I was a kiteboarder before a coach. And I always improve a lot in Brazil myself, as you say, because what? Because the sweet water, because flat water lagoons, warm condition, warm water, and windy every single day. So you can really take a month of kiting and you can really see the progress line always going up. So for me, it's also the best place in the world to train freestyle for far. And I really enjoy the surrounding, the people, the food, the lifestyle. I love Brazil, and it's one of my destinations. I'm sure I will be there again and again and again. So be ready to see me there and to push you there as well.
No, yeah, for sure. I can't wait. All right, we also are going to talk about Sri Lanka. I know Sri Lanka, I've been there, I think, 2 or 3 times. I can't really remember, but it is such a 3 times. Okay, 3 times. It is such a cool place. Like you have Vela, right? It's called Vela. You have this island which is like 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers of just completely flat water and pretty strong wind as well. And the times that I've been there, I just improved so much. And it's also really warm water. Fabio, tell us a little bit about Sri Lanka and what it's like there.
So Sri Lanka for me is like I've been there in the beginning for testing kites with Ralph from the Auton, and I rediscovered Sri Lanka with him in the beginning. And I moved one time in Kalpitia, and there's a huge lagoon there, and I've been testing the kites there. And the owner want to make me like say, Fabio, look, we have best place in the world. It's windy every day, and blah blah blah. I say, okay, cool, why not? So we set up my kite school, and then we've been training and kiting there. And I discovered at the same time this island, Vela, this beautiful sandbank, 2 kilometers flat water, offshore wind, like the perfect ever condition. I will say like this spot is better than Brazil, but I prefer Brazil for the overall package. But yeah, for me it's like morning, evening, night, the same wind condition, like strong wind. I'm always on the 10 meter in Vela. I also kite every day there, and it's just amazing. And I remember the time we've been together, and pushing you on the 7 meter, doing
Yeah.
huge tricks there. And I will put this at number 1 on the flat water spot. The only problem is you only reach this spot on the boat, and the logistic is not easy to go there. But in general, people love so much they don't care about a 1 hour drive boat to go and 1 hour drive boat to go back to the camp. So they really
I think
enjoy
the boat ride there is much better than the boat ride back. Is right back. I think you get back to the hotel and you kind of need a back massage after sitting down in that boat and just like going up and down. But yeah, for sure, the flat water in Sri Lanka is probably one of the best places I've ever kited. It's like it's offshore wind, so and there's nothing behind the sandbank, so you just get this super consistent wind. The only downside is the boat ride, but the cool thing is you can also spend the night at this little shack, I think, that you built on the sandbank island sort of thing. And we would stay there a day or two and just bring a bunch of food. They would make fish and stuff at night, and it's just so cool. I really liked it and enjoyed it there.
Yeah,
Nico,
the only thing that
I don't know.
Good. So
Have
Nico,
you been to Sri Lanka, Nico?
No, never been to Sri Lanka, but I heard a lot of story from Fabio. I think I heard a bit more story of parties than kitesurfing, but kitesurfing looks like amazing. And make me remember a bit a spot that we got in France called Grisson. In the south is like flat water or like kilometer of flat water, like super long spot and with strong wind. And yeah, I would love to go to Sri Lanka one day and maybe, with you, Fabio, maybe, and you will make me discover this place.
No, yeah, for sure, Fabio. You should definitely have a camp in Sri Lanka one of these years. It's an amazing place. I really liked it, and I would really like to go back there for sure.
With pleasure. Not in my camp because I don't have any camp there, but I have enough connection there to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, right now, me and Fabio are in El Gouna, Egypt. El Gouna is considered like the Monte Carlo of Egypt. It is very different from the rest of Egypt. The Three Corners hotels that we are staying in are amazing with amazing food, and everything is just great. El Gouna is a very international and safe spot. The wind is great, and there are very beautiful kite spots here. All right, so now we're going to play a small video. Fabio Huda played my video my first week here in El Gouna. All right. So Fabio and Nico, I brought you guys together today so we can talk about your new project Above the Water. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Nico, you want to start?
Yeah, for sure. Like the project started with like I met Fabio like on the beach coaching together, and like on the world tour, that's where we met first. And like when I said like I wanted to go more into coaching, he just contacted me and said it can be good like if we work together. He was already starting the company with John Maria and Maxime, and he had me on it, and now we try to really create something like a base, a good one for the people, the young riders that want to improve. And I think that that's a good way to promote the sport.
Yeah, for me, like as I said, Nicolas, we meet on the beach. We are always cross facing each other, always helping the rider, giving the tips, always listening what he say, always is listening what I say, and always we was matching the way we want to promote the sport. We want to coach the people around us. That's why I asked him, like, hey, don't do on your side. Let's go do it together, making something together and making like for the new generation something very concrete. So that's why we develop like some levels into this above the water to make sure the people come in our camp. We deliver certification, and with the certification, we say, okay, you level 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever. And with this level, they can really grow into the above the water. And one time they get the maximum level, we agree, we certify them, you can compete, because we have the knowledge and we know what we're talking about when we talk about freestyle, about scoring, about the to make it. So that's why I really want to make this happen for all the young guns coming to the sport and give them the right way to train and to go for it.
No, yeah, for sure. I really believe this project is amazing for the young talented kite surfers out there who might have a dream to participate in GKA World Tour. But now, like, tell us a little bit about the athletes you have coached.
So for my side, I start the first ever athletes. I start for my side. He was in Sri Lanka with Christian Kio. I really start with him like the pro training, and really Christian, I learned a lot with him because he was a super talented, quite still super talented rider, very young, very shy, and I really discover myself also. Okay, I have this diamond in my hand, and I want to make sure I don't fuck it up. So I want to give him the best for him to grow and to believe in himself. So we train and we talk a lot, and we was following him on the competition where we meet in Balenia Alegre, by the way, and it was the first time we met there, and was with Christian. And for me, to bring these kids and to make them growing into the competition mode and to give the best, my best challenge. And then I meet the mother of Maxim in Sri Lanka. So everything is crossed, by the way. And in Sri Lanka, she talked about the Maxim and said, man, Maxim, I don't know Maxim. Who is Maxim? I never heard about this Maxim. I said, yeah, but my son is very talented and he's doing competition. He's sweet. It would be very nice if you can train him like you do with Christian, because Christian was here with me. I said, yeah, let's talk. And then I also meet Maxim in the Balaya and Alegre with the parents. And everything started here like it was a center cross. And from here, I've been in Brazil with you and Maxime, and then I get interaction with Antaraka and Tombridge and all this family growing and growing. And I'm very happy to see all the people I get in my hand and make them qualify for the Pro Tour or be world champion. And I'm very proud of all these athletes and happy for my job because I don't break the diamond, I make it shine.
No, yeah, for sure. Super, super cool. I remember meeting you. I think Maxime introduced us when I was 12 in Kauipi, I think. But actually, like, I know I met you in Bela and Alegre, but I remember Maxime formally introduced us in Brazil, and we started talking about training and everything. But it's super cool, everything that you've put together, and I find it incredible. But tell us a little bit about some of your goals with Above the Water.
So for me, the main goal is to have a platform for all the people can join our camp. And for the people who is dreaming about competition, we really have all the setup to bring these young people or less young people and make level by level reaching the competition level, because we have the knowledge about the kite, and we have a really nice crew around us. We have Matteo, sometimes is coming to have the mental coach and the massage and all the stretching power. We have also one partner, the Lulu Yoga. When she can come, she can give us the tools to bring for the athletes the way to stretch and to mindset the body. And then Nico is super strong, also athlete, but also a trainer and a professional trainer. So we have a lot of luggage on him. Myself, I have my experience, and this is my luggage basically, and all this make our team. And as a team, I really want to make the bridge for all the athletes to grow up.
No, yeah, for sure. Talking about that, explain how it is to the coming up athletes and what it means to train professionally. Because it's one thing to train on your own and just train on the water, but what does it mean to train outside of the water with exercises and food regimes and everything?
Nico, you want to?
Yeah. I think like when you start to train professionally, first you start to set up goals, and you later start to work on it, and you have to know what you have to do to reach these goals. And so it starts by your food, your physical preparation, your kiting, everything, and you have to have like a training strategy. It's not more like you have fun for sure in the water. You have to keep this fun, but you are not going in the water and like spending your time just doing tack. You have to have like a special,
Like a goal.
and special like training strategy. And yeah, I think that's how you start really to train like professionally.
And also outside of the water, as you said, with the gym and training and prevention, a lot of the riders, they have really good training schedules inside the water, have preparations and stuff, but they don't do physical training, at least the younger ones when they're coming up. And prevention and working on your muscles and getting strong is super important, because one injury can really mess up your career. As you know, Nico, I know you were super, super strong, and that still affected your knees at the end of that competition. Do you think that you should train as hard in the gym as you do in the water?
Yeah, I think it's really important. Like sometimes when it's snowing, like in France, for example, we don't have wind every day, so it's really important to be in shape to be able to handle all this reception in freestyle. This thing is like you can be strong, but you have also to be flexible, and that's why we are bringing yoga and stuff like this into our camp, because it's also like you can be the strongest man on earth, but if you are not flexible at all, you're gonna break straight, and that's what it's really important to learn, and to that's why we want to give to the young riders. Is like you have to prepare yourself like correctly in all the sides,
For sure. Fabio, what do you think about that?
No, for me, like inside the water, like you say, Nicola, first of all, you need to set up a goal. This is a mindset. The mindset has to be set. So if you come to train and your mindset is to be world champion, you already one guideline, this pretty super strong guideline. And then, of course, out of the water, for me, is like, I would say not 50% of the job, but it's like a big part of the job. Because your body, when you train on you have only specific line muscle working, and you need to compensate your body with the other side, because if not, you're strong only on the kiting, but if you make one bad movement or bad landing, you broke straight away as well. So it's super important to be balanced by body and also the mental. So for me, also as a coach, I really try also to understand the athletes and to mindset them to say, okay, this is important for you, but also the outside the water, be strong everywhere.
For sure, yeah. Do you think there's an age limit, or like how old do you think kids should be before they start training professionally?
For me, it's like, sorry, do you want to start?
No, do it.
Yeah, for me, as an ex-athlete, for sure, age limit is coming quick on the freestyle because you cannot push yourself that far when you get older. But it is not only for the body, but mainly for the mindset. When you get older, you get fear, you compromise your riding because you don't want to break, because your body have experience of crashes, experience of broken, and it's very hard to be a top one when you have this mindset. That's why young people on freestyle, they perform better because they have a locker. They don't have much fear, and as a coach, it's way easier to bring a 15 years old, start to build the muscle and push him, because it's like he's no stop, he's no limit, he's a body limit, and this is also our job to make sure the body is ready for what we're asking for. So yeah, this is my point of view.
For sure. Super, super important, guys. Super important. Fabio, Nico, tell us about above the water training schedules. What does a daily routine look like?
Allez, Nico.
Yeah, like during the camp, the training like is like super long journey. Like we wake up at 7, we like do like a little witness before breakfast. And yeah, we got the breakfast. We watch the videos we did like a debriefing videos from the day before. Then straight, if it's windy, we go to the spot. We go for like a good warm up at the beginning, like half an hour at least, and then we go for like a coaching session, like minimum like 1 hour, 2 hour of coaching session. Then we have like little break for the lunch, and then we go back for another like coaching kite session in the afternoon, and then we end up with like a stretching and yoga class. And yeah, it's like really like long journey and really intense. So yeah, after 1 week, oh man, even 2 weeks of coaching, everyone is like dead. And like
No, yeah, I know. The training schedules can be very, very harsh. And just having to wake up every day consistently for like 2 weeks, being in the sun, not having that many breaks, and just pushing yourself on the water and off the water is very, very tiring. I know that when I was in camps with Fabio and I had to wake up every day and do that, at the end of the 2 weeks, I'd just be like, no, I can't. No more. Please let me sleep in. But yeah, for sure, super harsh. We have a question here from Giovanni. He asked, would love to learn more about your coaching methodology. What techniques do you feel help you get the best results? Fabio, would you like to answer this one?
So for me, it's a hard question because it's like or the cooker who make a good soup. But what's the ingredient to make a good soup? Well, first you need the good athletes, because to make the best result, you cannot make a good soup with a bad ingredient. You can just make a okay soup. So if you're like a good riders, you can bring them to the top. So this is the first. Is no secret on this part. Then for me, to understand the rider and to giving the wings and push them in the right way, and finding the limit of the rider, and just to get all and push them always there, so out of the comfort zone without over exaggerate. This is one of the biggest achievement we can have on the coaching, is finding the point and just pushing out. And of course, we need also to know the techniques. We need to know the scoring for the competitor, because if we know the score, we know the tricks, we can see exactly where the athlete is during the training. So basically, this is my secret.
No, yeah, for sure. It is really about techniques, and you have to have everything really precise to learn it properly, because you don't want to go into training learning something the wrong way, because if you do, it's very hard to change your techniques into doing it the right way. So starting off doing everything properly is very important. All right, Fabio, I have a question. I was wondering, are you guys training only freestylers, or are you training like foiling? Because I know you're doing the Swiss foil team Olympic. I think you're still doing that.
So
and,
yeah, I get
or are you training any other in sport?
Yeah, for me, I have a huge opportunity last summer during the quarantine, the COVID, and Swiss sailing to build up a team for the Olympics. So for me, it's like also a very big challenge. But we are just on the beginning. We just started the team last year. And basically, all the athletes I have on this team, they also come in my training for freestyle. So I really have we are really close together, and it's something new for me and for coaching the foiling because I'm not a pro in foil, but I did race many races when I was snow kiting and also on the buggy on the beach. I was racing. I do like a competition on this also. So I have my knowledge about the start, about the technique, about the race himself. I just don't have the perfect feedback when I speak about like the material was like the what is the best gear to race at this time of the day or this time of the day or with this wind condition. So this I have to learn. But basically now we are on the base of this. This is one part. And doing our coaching with Nicolas, we also have now like Camille. We have athletes like coming from strapless rider, like you also. You do like an amazing job on strapless. Everyone know. And I'm also like challenging myself to push me outside of my box, my comfort zone as a coach to coach her. And I'm very happy to see because I'm learning also in the same time I'm coaching, but coaching is still finding the point to put out of the box and giving the right techniques. So I correct her on many points also. And last day with you also helped me on some tips, very like useful tips. And I'm super glad to have you here with me also to teach me also a little bit. It's fine. It's super nice.
No, yeah, for sure. Especially strapless is very hard to coach because it's all about technique and board positioning in the wind and using the wind to your advantage. But yeah, I think it's super cool that you're doing the foiling team, and it's a very big step for kiting as well, having kiting in the Olympics. So getting a good team for each country is very important. I know in Brazil, they're starting their team with the Brazilians, and hopefully everything will work out in 2024 for the Olympics, and COVID will be resolved by then and everything will get back on track. Yeah. Nico, are you also teaching or like helping out with strapless with Cami, or is that just Fabio?
No, yeah, I was also coaching Camille on strapless. I don't have like a big background on strapless, but like Fabio, like we really try to find the points that we can work on it because, you know, basically on the technique and we already almost know how to do it and like the kite position. And it's always the same, you know, like the kite is like hanging you. So if you don't know how to pilot your kite, it's the same for freestyle, for strapless, for foil. And that's where we can work on it. And yeah, it's a good compromise, and it's good to learn some new things also. And yeah, like Fabio told, like it's good, like we are coaching and you are learning at the same time. So yeah, it's good.
Actually, Nico, being French, and I know the French Kitesurfing Association is they're very advanced. You know, you have your team, you have your foiling team, you have your freestyle team. I know when you guys are going to the GKA competitions, you sometimes bring your physical therapist and like your coach. Are you guys doing that for foiling as well? Do you have this whole team set up?
So can you repeat the last sequence, please? You just freeze a bit.
Yeah, I was just asking if sorry, I was speaking a bit too fast. If you guys, the French Kitesurfing Association is very advanced, and if you guys have a full team already for your foiling and for the Olympics, and if you're training.
Yeah, exactly. Like the French Federation now is like really pushing into the Olympics. Like before that, the foil goes to the Olympic, we were like half in between foil and freestyle. We had like all this setup, like the free gym with like physical trainer, mental trainer, like we have all this stuff behind us. That's why we can see like sometimes the physio coming to the competition, and that's like amazing. I mean, like for riders and for athletes, I mean, to have all this stuff behind you, it's always helping you to be the best, you know, and to work correctly. And yeah, now that the foil is Olympic, the federation is putting like 95% on it, like almost all the money and all the staff behind the foil. So yeah, I think like they have like a good team now, and I know that the French foilers are leading on the tour. And yeah, I think like they have like a really good team and like really good support.
Yeah, I know you guys have, when you were in Dakla, I remember you had your physical therapist there as well with you in a competition in 2019. And I was very surprised that you guys had like this whole team set up for freestyle, considering that it is an individual like sport and you guys would be competing against each other. So you would come as a team, but you guys would go up against each other head on. So how was it training with them, but also having to compete against them?
Yeah, for me, I think like that you cannot train like alone. You know what I mean? Like you need really like to fight on the water and to have like motivation. Like for example, Luca is French and he live in Mauritius, and he was riding on the best spot of the world, like but alone, and he moved to France just to be like in worst condition, but just to ride with us. So it's super important, I think, to have this emulation on the water and like train together and push together. And yeah, for me, like we are like only like we just do the competition when we have to do it, but like outside on the water we have like friends and like a family, and we are always helping each other. Like I was helping them after my hit on the beach and trying to make them like going to the final, and yeah, that's
No,
good.
yeah. I feel like that's how the kitesurfing community is, like at least the competition. Like outside the water, you're all friends, you're hanging out with each other, having fun, but inside the water, you're competing and you are not friends on the water. You're just trying to do your best. And you just have to be happy for your friends, even if you don't pass your heat. You just have to be there supporting them, because in the end, that is a sport. We are super friendly and everybody just wants the best for everyone. And that's how our competitions work, and I think it's just great. Fabio, what is it like training, actually being at the competitions with a team, having to coach? Because that's like a whole different side of pressure.
Of course, it's totally different than the camp, because when you go on a competition, you have the pressure for the result. It's not a question to be like reaching the result in the training. You want to do the best in competition. So basically, when we train, we have a pressure to be better. When we go competing, we want to be number one. I like when you have the diamond. I want to make sure it's number one, and it's really a lot of pressure inside the coach. But this pressure has to be like invisible for the athletes. So we have to be super calm, super quiet, and to make sure the athlete is feel the quietness, to make sure he can slow down. And when he need to slow down, we always here to give him the little tips he need, because in competition is not the time to train. It's the time to be precise and just give the words he need to perform. And this for me is the difference between training and competition.
No, yeah, for sure. Talking about pressure, what were you feeling in Mauritius when I had those 4 crashes in a row? I know I wasn't really freaking out. Actually, you were like, it's time to freak out now. Like, how was that for you?
No, I remember it's crazy. It was so crazy. Yeah, and then we started the discussion at the beach, and I was telling you, it's like, maybe the wind is too strong, you remember? And you say, no, the wind is not too strong. Man, I was just do the 9. And you go, still, no, I feel it, I stick on a 10. And you go this big tricks, slim fire, and you crush for, I don't know, we don't see the reason.
My boot broke.
Yeah, we know this after the second tricks, because the first one you don't see, and I don't see it, and then you go bigger.
I didn't realize that it was broken.
Yeah, and me too. And then when you go back to make the same tricks, and you crash, and I say, what's happened? My boots broke. Then it was we stress on the beach to change the boots, and you go.
I think I used Pippa's board.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And
her
then you go on
stance
the
was like
third one.
super inward. And I was like, it.
And then I say, okay, slow down, just land tricks. We go slowly. And you go, yeah, don't feel stress. And you go and you crash. I'm like, wow. And then the fourth one, you crash again. I'm like, okay, still 3 tricks to perform because it's only 7 tricks in total. And the other girl nearly finished the heat with 4 tricks count. So, okay, what do you feel? And you remember your face, like, yeah, I feel nothing. I feel no stress. I say, okay, yeah. And I say, yeah, okay, now maybe it's time to stress a bit because if you don't stress now, I don't know when to stress. And then you're
No, yeah,
making
but I
this.
was super calm. Like you could see it on my face. I was just like, I was like way too calm. I think I don't know
Mm,
what happened during that heat, but I was just like chilling actually. Like I was there, I crashed like 2 times. I was like,
mm,
this is weird. And then I saw my boot
mm.
and I was like, oh, that's why. And then I went to the beach and I was like, okay, give me another board, give me another board. And then I like crashed again and I was like, what is wrong? I got to the beach again. And
Mm.
the fourth crash, I remember you called me in, you're like, are you stressed? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And you were like, what? Well, it's time to get stressed now. And I was like, yeah. And then I went there and I did the 3 tricks and made them. I think I got like 9, 9, and 8 or something, and I passed the heat in
Yeah,
seconds. And I was just
yeah,
there
and you
like,
go on a fight.
I
Yeah,
passed.
I remember I was with your dad on the beach and he was like freaking out on the beach, like my hair was goosebump everywhere, and it was like, wow, this is a real champion. You can see it. Mm,
Yeah, for sure. I know it was a lot of at the end of the heat. I was like, okay, maybe I could have been a little bit more stressed there and like tried to be more stressed to like get my adrenaline up to make
mm.
but in the end everything worked out and it was great. Actually, I was wondering, do you guys have any new kite destinations for above the water training camps?
So yeah, we didn't speak about Morocco, but is also a place we also a lot of time going there, and we plan to go every year back here. And due to the COVID situation, we still don't know if we can manage to go there this springtime or not. But yeah, for sure, Brazil is part of the list, and all the GKA tour supposed to be on the destination list because we would love to add a camp before the camp with athletes, like for me, like a Dotton and Nico for F1, and after staying a 1 week more and keeping there for a week and bringing the locals to have like a one session with the locals for training. This is the plan.
No, yeah, for sure. I can't wait. Morocco is a very great destination. I know I've been there so many times, and you have the choppy side where you can train your tricks after you go into the really flat spot, which is also like kilometers of just perfectly flat and really strong wind. And it's just the contrast between both is just a great training aspect. I know, Nico, you've been there a bunch. What do you think about it?
Yeah, Morocco, like we go there every year. Like the setup is really nice. The camp are really great, and the condition, like the speed spot, it's definitely one of the best spot of the world. You know, like the wind is super steady, flat water. Like yeah, it's a really good place to train.
Yeah, for sure. It's great. It's great. All right, guys. So it looks like our time is coming to an end. Anything you guys would like to say or add?
For me, I want to say thank you a lot because it was a real pleasure to speak here on your channel, and I hope you have a really good success with that. I'm very proud to be part of this, and yeah, keep going, and see you on the water tomorrow for me.
Yeah, thank you, Mika, very much for the invitation. And I would like to say, like, I saw that you are pushing the girls into the next level with landing your backside 5, and like, congratulations. Yeah, really, and it's really impressive.
Thank you, Nico. Well, thank you, Fabio. Thank you, Vivi, from behind the scenes at the Barong House. I really appreciate you guys. And thank you, Nico and Fabio, for taking time out of your day to come with me on my program and talk with me. And yeah, super stoked to have you guys here. And hopefully we can do this again. Guys, remember, I will be here in the Three Corners Resort for the next several weeks. But I will have some great guests joining me for the next weeks to come. I'll keep doing my program from here. So keep following my Instagram and YouTube channel to see my training day, what my training days look like, because I'll be posting them regularly on my Instagram. And yeah, everyone, thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Yeah.
That's sick.